Going on, everyone? Kurt Weidner here, Team Animal Training Compound. We got Ask the Animal episode 9. Got a couple questions from my subscribers. Before I get to that, just want to give a shout out to all my subscribers. Surpassed 1,000 subscribers. I think I'm at 1,040 now. I appreciate all your support. Glad you guys are finding the videos helpful, and I like the questions. So let's get right to it. First question, this is from about a week ago. Masha Perel had asked in regards to the review I did on the Rep Fitness Functional Trainer FT5000, being the person's the same height as me, I'm about 5'11", wanted to give me an example of what a pull-up on this looks like and how much knee bend I need at the bottom in order to not hit the ground. So I'm going to show you with arms fully extended here. You can see I need a decent amount of bend in my knees so that my feet don't touch the ground. I can't just stand, well, I mean, I got a little bit of bend here I'm still touching. So if I was going to do a pull-up, that's about the amount of knee bend I need at the bottom. So hopefully that helps. The other question I got here, let me just open this up here. Jim Gill, nice choice in music tunes, my buddy. Appreciate that. That was Slipknot, My Duality, from my deadlift video yesterday, my one-arm deadlift video. I miss deadlifts, but I'm now in my late 40s and very nervous to do them anymore. What are your thoughts about someone my age deadlifting? So I'm actually 45. I firmly believe that deadlifts are one of the most important fundamental movements that you can do. And here's why. It's not just about what you're doing in the gym. Things like squatting and deadlifting probably more important than anything else in some form. So, I don't want to be one of these people that when I get older that I can't bend over to pick something up because it hurts too much or I'm afraid I'm going to hurt myself. And that's what we call functional independence. When I was training my mom when she was, in her 70s years ago, my mom's actually going to be 80 this week, and she still gets around and does stuff, but I actually had her doing deadlifts in her 70s. Now, one thing you have to consider, just because you're doing deadlifts doesn't mean you're loading a barbell up with hundreds of pounds. There's a lot of ways to do a deadlift. So, first of all, I would, assess mechanics with your deadlift, and can you comfortably perform a deadlift with a barbell, trap bell, whatever it be? If you can, let's say that you're getting some type of pain, well, then you have to figure out, well, where does it hurt? Is it just on one side of your body? Is it symmetrical across your body? Is it in your lower back? Is it in the hip flexors? What's the area of concern or aggravation? Okay? And then you have to isolate, well, why is that happening? Is it a strength imbalance? Is it a mobility issue? Do you not have the mobility issue to get all the way into that lower position? And it's possible you could actually start from an elevated position. If you can't actually get your hips low enough and keep your back straight and you're rounded too much while you work on the mobility, you could do, like a rack dead or some type of deadlift from an elevated position to build that strength up. Are you bracing properly? I would suggest, breaking down your form and, looking at the mechanics of the lift. I've done some videos that break down deadlifts in depth. There's some other people like Brian Alstra who've done some really good videos that go into depth of how to look at a deadlift. Figure out what the problems you are having, why you're having them, and then you need to, do some corrective exercises so that you can fix those things that are causing a problem for you. The deadlift video I put up yesterday was a one-arm deadlift, and that for right now feels good. There are periods of time where I might be having issues with one area of my body and I'm avoiding certain types of deadlifts, but I never stop deadlifting altogether, nor would I suggest that for anybody. So you should be doing it in some form. Along the discussion of corrective exercises, I do want to give a shout out and talk a little about this. This is a book that I've been reading. If you're not familiar with Dr. Aaron Horschig, I strongly recommend you looking into this book. He also has an Instagram page called Squat University. There's a lot of great stuff in here that talks about rehab, corrective exercises, identifying dysfunctions and deficits within strength, stability, mobility, and how to go about fixing those things. I think too many people, they're used to doing things a certain way, and then at some point, whatever it is that they were doing, whether it's a bench press or a squat or a deadlift, starts to hurt somewhere. And instead of stepping back and seeing, why is this happening? What's the problem? What needs to be fixed? They just decide, well, I'm going to stop doing it. And all that really does is that it actually makes you weaker. You want to continue getting stronger, figure out what the issue is, figure out how to correct it. And, I'm not a fan of just saying, well, I'm going to avoid that, because then you are that much more susceptible if you ever get yourself in a situation where you have to bend over and pick something up. I want to be able to do it and not hurt myself. So I want to make sure that I can deadlift, and do it correctly so that my body's prepared for that movement in a functional setting. So hopefully that answers your question. Those are the only 2 questions I got for today. Hope you find those answers helpful. And as always, make sure you like, subscribe. If there's other content or questions that you guys want to see, please put it in the comments below. Until next time, guys, have a great week. Out.